DJ, and that's Preston. And the first thing we would like to do is we would like for each group to report out on what they did last night. And group one, you go first.
Alright, in group one, we talked about the question that Mr. Campbell, he gave to us in our discussion. One people, they said they had a dream and they felt like they were gonna prove it to themselves that they could achieve that dream. And in our group, they said that they would put their education on the lives, they would put education over death. And I said I believe that I would put my religion on the line. And that was it. So it was a long discussion though. It was real long. And that's it.
Alright.
That's not all of it.
Is that it?
Yes.
When you said it was a real long discussion, what was driving that discussion? What were some of the topics that one of y'all talked about that kept the interest?
Education was discussion. And some folks disagreed that education, they gonna put their lives on the line for education. And then we came to a consensus that they would. Taquana, she started negotiating with Jaron and make him believe it. And then I said religion because I believe religion. Anybody else? Any questions?
It was really like, everybody said education and everybody explained why they said education. Then Darren went into one of his speeches over education and stuff. And then Jaron was like, he was saying, he said education at first, then he changed education and said, what did you say last night? He said, I think he said nothing. He said that he would. He said he wouldn't die for nothing because he was like, how is he gonna get his education if he's already dead? And then I told him, I said I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna argue with you about it because I can't make you change your mind, but because you're gonna believe what you want to believe anyway. But I'm gonna tell you this: in order to prevent you use your education to get you where you want to go, and in order for you to go out there and fight for what you believe in, you have to have some kind of education, an educational background, so that you won't go out there and get yourself killed. You can go out there and know what you're doing. And so then that's when he changed his mind.
Anything else? Okay, now we have group two.
I was wondering what was Mr. Shepard's comment on the question they had towards
Towards the parents.
the parents.
What question was that?
You gonna tell me?
Can I tell you? The question was like, what would you feel? How would you feel if your son, like DJ or whatever, had to, go out and do what they was doing on the video yesterday? Like, fight for themselves, stick up for themselves. How would you feel? Would you, let him go with it or disagree?
I would let him go. What they were doing was fighting for our freedom, so we can, do the things that we're allowed to do today. If they had not, then we wouldn't be where we're at now. I feel it was worth it at that point in time, in the 50s and 60s when they did that. Yeah, and if we had to do it again, I would.
Is that all? Alright. in group 2, I'm gonna report out for group 2. Queen gonna report out. Here? Oh yeah, I know. I'm gonna report out for group 2. In group 2, we discussed the question about right now in the 90s, like about what would we sacrifice for in a situation, in a life and death situation, just like it was back then, but put it towards one of the problems that we have in the 90s, like around these times. And the discussion lasted quite a while, but we didn't ever really come to a consensus. And I was assigned the 3 names that you gave us to look up, and the internet at the school, I was told to do it find it on the internet, but the internet was locked at the school, so I didn't get a chance to find it on the internet. But Quentin wrote a poem about what we did yesterday in here with everybody, and we had told my grandmother to answer the question also in front of everybody, the whole group. She said okay. Now, yeah, I want Quinn to go first.
I wrote my poem, like, based on, well, I ain't really writing on the movie. I wrote about how I felt about the movie and stuff. I speak as future roots. It all seemed true. Who am I? A young black brother, raised with 1 mother and 3 brothers. I'm trying to survive the world and make history. But before I go, I want to know the lost artifacts and unsolved mysteries. Sometimes I sit back and it's what the white man teaches. It's always true, and it all comes to senses and sticks in my brain like glue. Never heard of freedom ride or a sit-in. Would I sacrifice my life or get my chest caved in? Sacrifice my life, because what I do, I gotta do what I do to do what I do. Don't judge me as the color of my flesh. Judge me as a citizen with color. And pray the Lord and God bless.
Miss Harris, you gonna do what you do?
Okay, last night in discussion, the students asked me the same question that they asked Mr. Shepherd. So I told them I would be very supportive of my son or my daughter because they were fighting for a good cause. And I'm probably like the mother was on the movie yesterday when he called home and told her, when he was in jail, told her to be cool. I'd probably try to stay cool, but it would be hard, but I'd have to pray. I'd have to pray and ask God to bring her back home safe. And I also told them last night, I remember some of that because I used to do housework, and you couldn't go to the front door. You'd have to go to the back door to clean these white people's house. But like Mr. Shepherd say, everything was fought for a good cause, and now you can go to the front door. You don't have to go to the back door. You can sit down with the white people and eat in the restaurants like they do. And also, Superintendent Weldon used to have a counter. It used to be the 5 and 10. And you can't go to that counter to eat. If you ate something, you had to get it and go outside when you can stay at that counter with those white folks and eat. So yes, I would be very supportive of my son or daughter that was out there for sit-ins and freedom rap. Thank you.
That's all we have for group 2. Any questions about anything that we did?
Are you going to try to get that information we need for those?
Of course.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, my question's the same in terms of your discussion. It says, when you say it was long, how long was this long?
about like 30
Yeah.
30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you really talk about?
Yeah, we really covered about black on black crimes and things like that. And I talked about how it's the same thing now, how it was in slavery. Like, in order to control the slaves, the slave master turned the slaves on each other. Like, caused jealousy and things between the different houses and things. So if one slave would try to do something, the other slave would try to hold him down because he don't like him. And and things like that. And now it's the same thing. To keep us from rising, they try to poison our minds to turn us against each other. So we'll kill each other instead of not killing nobody. All of us just coming together and forming one big happy family.
So what are some of the things that did you talk about? Some of the things that might cause that, tactics that might be used to cause people to be turned against each other.
We talked about drugs, TV, fake news, publicity.
So what do you mean by fake news?
Stuff that you always see printed out by black people don't always be true. You gotta be there and witness it. That's just like, if you're not here, if you say Darryl saw a UFO, if he tell me he saw one, I gotta see it. I wouldn't believe him. And there's a lot going on in this world. And most of the time, people say what they want to say. In my opinion, if it's a white man, he gonna get over it. Cause that's the way they got the system. I'm different from everybody. What about y'all?
I have a question on when you said about just something about slavery and how they used to turn us against each other. And then you related that to the present day. What ways are they, what methods are they using now to turn us against each other?
Like, alright. Like, things like, let me see. Let's see if I pick one good example.
Drugs?
Drugs.
That's a white man product. So you got black people that control it, but most of the plants are owned by white men. Though that's how I feel about it too. You're not going to catch too many black people with big drug companies and hauling them into the United States and stuff like that. And that's one thing taking over our communities. You got people my age to sell drugs. And what that do right there, that influences the young ones to go do that and try to get money in their pockets and have clothes like the older ones. The streets is a talent show. Everybody trying to get what they can, trying to shine.
I say it like this. I think people, they make money. See, I heard a phrase about money. I used to know it. I forgot it though.
Money is all
Uh-huh.
it's evil.
Nah, that ain't what it is.
But it is.
What is it? You know it.
What? The love of money is the root of all evil?
Yeah, that's what it is. Because money is not a bad thing, but it's like if you want it too much, it's like a lot of people, they want money. It's like, I don't know, man. I think we will all get along together and get along better if everybody was poor. I'm serious. If everybody was poor, we will all get along
You be
together.
sharing stuff.
You know why? Because like some people got more money than other people, and those people got more things than them other people. So them people want those things, so they will do anything to get the money, so they could be on top with them. That's how all this stuff be started. It's about money. It's all about money.
Well, that may be true in some sense. You feel what you feel, but I feel that we're hurting our own selves. We don't have to, just because they own these big drug companies, it's not our fault it's not their fault that we decided we want to take that route. It's our fault that we decided we wanted to take that route. Or it's our fault we decided we wanted to use a gun and kill someone. They make it for, I feel that they make it for everybody, but sometimes we just choose the wrong decisions. And we put that on ourselves. and so many of us have chosen the wrong decision that it seems like that they're out to get us, and we're their customers now. So hey, they're gonna keep coming to us. We keep going to them, they're gonna keep coming to us. Now we're their customers. They got us hooked because we couldn't control ourselves. If you can control yourself, then there will be no need to say that somebody's holding me down or somebody's holding me down.
I feel you.
Okay. I understand what Sergeant's saying, but the way I feel about it, it's all in your mind. I mean, now, to me, if somebody come up to you and they want to sell you something, your mind just playing with you. You got something in your mind telling you, well, go ahead, buy it. Then you got something else telling you don't need it, and you're gonna let that money take over your mind anyway. And that's what I think. I mean, I agree with DJ when he said that, and I also agree with Starger. But I mean, some people let money take over their mind, and money is evil. It's not. I mean, the situation is not all about money, but it's just mind games to me. That's the way I think of it. It's mind games.
Any other questions? You want group 3 to report out?
I'd like to answer to the question, one of the questions that we had, who is Adam Clayton Powell? We learned that Adam Clayton Powell was a city councilman from New York City. He was also a minister. And now I'm going to report out of the group. The question put before us after yesterday's movie was, what are you confronted with today that leads to a life or death struggle similar to the issues of the civil rights movement in the 60s? We decided to conduct a panel discussion. Most of our group felt that although it may not be a life or death issue, that one key issue that confronts us today is the quality education in a rural city or town. If our children or future children are to have a quality education, we need to start addressing certain issues now. The panel consists of Preston Williams, a 12th grader, Lakia Coleman, a 9th grader, Daryl Carroll, a 9th grader, Tanya Williams, a 9th grader, Miss Clark, an underpaid employee, Bernie Shepard, an 8th grader, and Ernest Brooks, a 9th grader. We would like to ask for audience participation also. I'm going to ask the first question. What are some of the problems? What are some of the problems affecting low-wealth school districts such as Weldon and Warren County? What about the panel would like to comment? What are some of the problems affecting low-wealth school districts such as Weldon and Warren County? What are some of the problems affecting low-wealth school districts such as Weldon and Warren County?
Low funding, because in Weldon, we don't have a good building to keep the students in, whatever, and the 6th graders have trailers, so I think they need to get them out of the trailers and get them into a new building as well as the high school.
Yeah, I think all students all over should experience the same kind of resources that some people like in Wake County and Durham have. And I notice in Warren County we don't have all the electives. I heard that Weldon doesn't have many either. So when we go to college, we won't have all the experience in a field that we may want to be in. So that makes us work harder. But in like the cities and stuff, that makes them kind of ahead, and that's leaving us at a disadvantage. And the Constitution or Declaration of Independence, all men were created equal. So we should be equal.
I think that it's a problem in getting good quality teachers because of the pay. I know myself, if it wasn't for the love for the children that I have, I would be in another profession.
Does anybody in the audience feel like to comment on this question? Okay. Question number 2.
Is this supposed to be like a talk show or something?
It's like a panel discussion.
Oh, well, they don't have no teachers.
What can we do about it? That's we're gonna.
One question at a time. He wants you to answer the question that they relate to them. He wants you to talk about what they relate to them.
I don't know.
That's what they do.
No, he asked me.
What are some problems affecting Norwalk school districts such as Weldon and Warren County?
That's what I said.
Teachers?
Teachers.
They just pull anybody out of school. They don't look at it like if they can like do like they probably don't even know math. Cause I know we had some teachers coming there that didn't even know math and was in the math class. We had some science teachers that came in there didn't even know science but was in the science class, and that's hurting the students really.
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, there's nothing that we can really do about it because we don't have no say-so over them picking who they want to pick. So really, I mean, we can't do nothing about it. I mean, about the teachers anyway.
I'm gonna say the same thing that both of them said. It's I don't know why, but it's some kind of rule or something that somebody told me about teachers in North Carolina and about if you have some kind of degree or whatnot, you eligible to teach. And I mean, I personally don't think that's right because we got a guy out of Radio Shack that used to work in Radio Shack. The next week he working at our school. I mean, what is that? And so I think the same thing that Darian was saying.
It's called an emergency permission practice to teach. And what it is, when you can't find a teacher under any other circumstances, then as long as you have a 4-year degree and you live and breathe and you wear pants and clothes, then you can teach.
I think that we can do something about that problem, and we stress it long enough and get everybody together. They're gonna have to do something about it. They can't just sit around and be watching this for so long. They're gonna have to do something about it.
I was going to relate to what Quan and Darren and Shanika just said, because I was at the school last year, and the 8th grade went through 10 math teachers. 10 math teachers in the school term, and they had to prepare for the Algebra 1 test. And I have another grade going to 8th grade this year, and like I told Ms. Clark, I refuse this year to sit there and see the 8th grade go through what they went through last year. I refuse. If I have to get up by myself with Mr. Shepard, we used to be the only 2 parents, we're going to rally and we're going to get some parents together. And we've been talking to Mr. Dennis. And if we have to go to the state, we're going to the states because it's ridiculous. They go through 10 math teachers in 1 year. It's not fair to the students. And they really fighting for education. It's not fair.
I want to say something what DJ said. He said that if everybody come together and say something about it, they're gonna have to do something. But the way I see it is if say for instance we need a teacher, they're gonna be like, oh, that person know how to teach. Ain't no need to get that teacher. That's true. But if we really need a teacher and they found somebody that will teach, they're gonna get that person. So no matter what you do or no matter what you say, it don't mean they're gonna go bad, because if you need one, they're gonna get who they got to get.
I'm not kicking against what DJ or Shanika said, but it's the thing that happened in Weldon with our situation. I mean, by us going through all those teachers, it was confusing and it was hectic on us. But then once you sit there and you you the student. You in the class all day. You know what's going on. And then you have parents and nevertheless community members that want to kick against you because you say that the person that's teaching you is not teaching you, and then they want to just jump up and assume and say stuff like, well, oh, you just ain't no pleasing you just too picky, you can't get what you want all the time. And they not really understanding how we feel about it. So that's why I understand where Shanika is coming from, because if people, parents at the most, walking around saying stuff like that, what is it left for us to think?
That's general comments on that. I have a second question. What are some incentives? What's something that we could do so we won't have a shortage of teachers, so we won't have to go out and find teachers every year, so we can keep teachers and find teachers? What are some incentives, or what are some things that we can do to find teachers and keep teachers?
I don't know how to find teachers. I think we put up posters or something and the teachers contact us when we need a job or something. But one thing about keeping teachers,
What are some incentives? What are some things that we can do to make teachers want to come to Weldon and want to stay in Weldon or Warren County, or in rural areas?
I don't know why the teachers be leaving this stuff. Cause they come stay about 1 year. Some of them come stay a half a year. Some of them stay like 2 weeks. They be gone. But we got like maybe about like 3 or 4 teachers that been there for like a decade.
I don't know if it's true, y'all. I heard some stuff. I heard the only reason why teachers don't stay, they said people said the pay wasn't good, and that some like students be getting a hard time.
That's not true.
And then they said when students, they said, because I heard, and I done witnessed this through all my middle school jump. When teachers come, they said they out there first thing. I never seen this. And why they had like welding is bad. They was like, I know witches just till I came to welding.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing in there.
I'm like Quentin, I witnessed a lot of stuff with another person. Now, personally, from the middle school, from being in middle school last year for 3 years, I can say, I don't have to say people told me, I can say it and have proof and believe in what I say, that the school is not organized. It is not, everybody is not on the same accord. All your staff, you got this person, this teacher gonna be jealous of this teacher because of what this teacher got, jealousy between the teachers, and once students see that tension between the principal and the teacher, and the principal treating her teachers like peers treat their other peers, that ain't working. And I think it's the staff, and I think that the school needs to be more organized.
What I think is, once you get somebody that wants a job, you should let them sit in where all the students from the 8th grade, and have like her interview thing, or get together and see how the teacher is and everything. And then if the class like the teacher, then it might be good.
So I think we have too many wannabe teachers in the school. Because, I think a good thing we could do, we probably could like have a little fest, like TJ said, like where we meet the teachers and see, cause we can tell that they good. Cause we had teachers like Miss Langston come up in there.
We can't stop the kids from
We don't
talking.
need to hold back.
We can't stop them from talking. If they want to call a name, they can call a name. Then we have to ask you to leave to get out the parents talk, because they got to talk.
I have to have a job.
I know, so you might want to just not be able to.
Can y'all just have it by yourself?
Kind of sit on this seat.
Yeah, that's it.
See, the teacher, Miss Langston, see, she wrote so much bad stuff in the newspaper about the algebra project. Then come back to our school. She was, come on now. And one day we was in class, right? And she said, it's true what they say about weather. Now, what kind of stuff is that? Then not Miss Whitaker, but Miss Elder came in there, babied up and everything, like, told her that it's gonna be all right. What kind of principal would do that? The principal would let her go right then. If she ain't had no faith in us.
Are you talking about the tall lady in the classroom right in front of the water fountain down there?
She like high school student.
From the band man.
Yeah, that's one.
Well, I was gonna say the same thing Darian said, cause see, it's like she walked out on us about 3 or 4 times, and she came back. She came back every time. Then the last time she said, "Oh, she gonna quit, cause ooh, weird in this, weird in that," and then she came back. So it's.
Alright, this is my last time I heard about me on this though, but the record at Weldon, I think, for like the quickest teacher to go was a week. I think it was a week and 3 days. Permanent teacher. It was our science teacher. She left a week. No, this when I was in the 8th grade. 847, man. Teacher left. It took a week and 3 days. And that's like, hey, that's chapter 1. We ain't get past chapter 1.
I have something to say about that subject myself, because what you said about the teacher, Miss Langston, and about the article that she wrote about the algebra project. She came to